Hello, so happy you're here. I'm Ros Place and welcome. Such a warm welcome to Preparing to Channel with your Guardian Angel week 3. This is a really beautiful one. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always great to see that in the chat. So, I'm excited to be with you today. I'm always excited to be with you. We've got a really beautiful one today. Introductions first. I'm Ros Place. I'm a Guardian Angel channel, and I teach people to channel their guardian angels. And together with Tressarn, who is here to bring more love and deeper understanding to the human experience, we are delighted to share with you this preparation to channel, preparation for your mind, preparation for your body, preparation for your soul. Because when you channel your guardian angel, you have a world of infinite possibilities available to you. And I am speaking to you from Cusco in Peru, very high up. And Tressarn and I, together with Eddie and our 2 teenage boys, are traveling the world, and we are exploring ancient sites and the information that Tressarn is sharing about these ancient sites, this ancient hidden covered information is phenomenal, and I'm excited to share more about that on this YouTube channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, it'd be amazing if you did. It means that you get all the videos. It means that every time I upload you get to know about it, and also it really helps me. And another thing that really helps me and Tressarn and getting this message out is if you just comment. If you can comment on any of the videos, say that you were here, what you thought about it, it really does help me to work with YouTube's algorithm to know that this information is useful and interesting. So a really warm welcome. We're in week 3 here, and in week 3 we're talking about personal and spiritual healing to channel your guardian angel. This is a really beautiful and special subject. Before we go into that, I just want to recap where we've been just very quickly. As you can see how we're building here, we're building this beautiful foundation for you to channel your guardian angel. So we started in week 1 and we talked about safety that the mind requires in order to channel. And there were 4 stages. Your body or your mind requires 4 areas of safety in order to be able to relax, in order to be able to channel, and safety in your environment. So you might just want to go through these with me one by one. Know that the space that you're in now is safe. The room that you're in, the environment that you're in is safe. The second area of safety is knowing that when you come back from this wonderful hour preparing to channel your guardian angel, and when you come back from channeling, when you've learned to channel, that you're not going to have forgotten anything, that all will be well. The third area of safety is knowing that your guardian angel is with you. It's feeling the support and love of your guardian angel. And that's extremely important. And that relationship is something that I really want to help you to develop as we explore further into this time. And the fourth area of safety that your mind requires is knowing that you're doing it right, knowing that you know how to do it. And part of that is self-confidence, which we will talk about and have talked about. But part of that is following a method. And that's why the Channel of Clarity method is so great, because it's a process which your mind can enjoy giving itself to, so that you can just relax and you can get on with what you are needing to do in order to channel. And then we talked last week, about physical safety. So that's safety in your body. So in order to channel, it's really important that your body is relaxed, because, I hold on to a lot of tension in my jaw, as I explained to you, in my shoulders, and you guys shared with me where you held on to tension. And that tension is something which feeds the mind. So as you're preparing to channel and you're feeling tightness or tension in your body, then that is telling the mind that it's not safe, and the mind is responding to that. And that's when you get that real kind of like stressful interplay between your mind and your body, and you can't sit still, and you can't get comfortable, and you can't have that clear space in your mind so that you can open up to channel. And by the way, as I'm talking about this, I just need you to know that I'm not some kind of like Zen, naturally Zen, mind like a clear mountain lake, perfect meditator at all. I'm a really thinking person. I'm a really physical person. I like to move. But channeling your guardian angel doesn't require you to be able to kind of like fixate or clear your mind. It's like going to a spa when you channel your guardian angel, because you're present, but you're so relaxed. It's what I describe as a relief, because the trust that you develop with your guardian angel when you channel means that you can just spend moments channeling in a way that fits perfectly into your day so that you can find peace. It's so relaxing. The trust and the relationship that you develop with your guardian angel means that you can pass some over of that heaviness, of those responsibilities, of those questions, of those things that need to be done, those solutions that need to be found in your life and in your day. Can hand those over to your guardian angel. So that's the 2 layers that we talked about. And I'm going to keep coming back to those. And I'd love you to continue to enjoy knowing that there are things you can do to be safe in your mind and things that you can do to be safe in your body. And today we're going to talk about spiritual and personal healing to channel your guardian angel. But I want to start by telling you a story. Okay, this is it's an important story. And it's one that I really want to share with you. So a few years ago, I had the good fortune to be in Miami, and I was staying in a beautiful apartment very close to where I was going to be speaking, because I was attending an event and I was required to speak. And I'm in this lobby and I'm preparing to speak. I'm preparing to walk up to the elevator with the producer. And I can remember I was wearing really high heels because I've always felt like I'm not that tall. I've always felt like I didn't hold enough space. I really used to feel like I needed to be more in some way, and we'll come back round to that in a moment. So it's really hot, it's really humid. You can see I've got curly hair, but at that point in my life, all I wanted was straight hair. So I used to straighten my hair, and that was just such a symbol of fighting against nature and who I was, because I was never going to win that battle. As you can see, I've given into that now, which just feels important. And so I'm clip-clopping through this lobby in these high-heeled shoes, and my feet are all swollen up because it's so hot and it's so humid. My hair's curling. I just feel so uncomfortable. I've got these tight clothes on. And I'm walking over to the elevator, and you know that feeling when your throat goes really tight and you can just feel your heart beating out of your chest. You know when it's so loud that you think everyone else can hear it? Tell me if you know what I mean by that. And I'm just waiting to be taken to the worst situation that I could possibly imagine. And I'm thinking to myself, why did you agree to this? Why are you going to be standing up and speaking in front of people? And then the mind starts talking to me and telling me, you're never going to be able to do this. No one's going to be listening to you. You haven't got anything important to say or interesting to say. You're just going to be a part of the day that other people are going to really forget or remember for the wrong reasons. And so my heart's beating out my chest, my throat's tight. I'm waiting for the elevator to come to take me to do this speech. And I turn to the producer, who's on my right-hand side, and I say to her, tell me how to be. And she just looks at me. And what's worse is she looks at me and she doesn't know what to say, but I see this like flicker behind her eyes of like irritation, followed by what I interpreted to be, I'm going to have to talk this woman down off the ledge. How inconvenient. She's here to speak and now I'm going to have to give her a therapy session. And she then said to me, just be yourself. And I tell you what, I don't think there's any worse reply I could have received, because just being myself was about the last thing that I felt was going to be good enough. I wanted the floor to open up and just swallow me up. And I went up and I did my speech, and it wasn't my best work, I have to say. I didn't get called back. And it was a really traumatic experience. So if you've ever felt like you can't be yourself, like being yourself is not enough, if you've ever felt like you have to try to look different, talk different, be somehow more prepared or more professional or be better in some way in order to be sufficient, and that didn't cover up that inner sense of insecurity that you felt, then spiritual and personal healing together is what is required. Because until you bring the spiritual part of yourself, which could also become called the energy part of yourself, your soul, the part of you that you can't see but that you can feel and know inside, together with the personal side of you, which is your character. Now, not first thing in the morning grumpy you, not like frustration you, but you, your character, the person that you are, that personality aspect of you, all the things that are your strengths and natural qualities, and natural abilities, which is what your guardian angel is here to help you to develop and to understand. When you bring those two parts of you together, the energy part of you, the spiritual part of you, and the personal part of you, you can be your complete self. You can be yourself. So when someone says to you, just be yourself, then you know exactly what that means. And you know exactly how to be it. And you don't even need to ask the question, because you have this sense and this feeling of being yourself that is so deep and relaxing and comfortable and enjoyable. And it means that you can do the things in your life that have held you back for so many years. And it also means that when you go to do things that you might push yourself to do and feel so uncomfortable about doing, you're able to relax and enjoy it. And I'll talk to you later about what that has meant to me. And there'll be a chance for you to think about how you might like to be your complete self and what that would mean to you in your life. So I can see there's lots of you here, which is absolutely lovely. Linda's here. Hi, Linda. And Derek's here. And Carolina and Patty and Trisha. Wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're here and you haven't said hi, please go ahead and say hi. I'd love to know that you're here, because I can't see that you're here. You're just a number, I'm afraid, on the top of my screen. But if you could say hi, that would be absolutely lovely. So let's talk about let's talk about spiritual and personal healing today, so that you can understand how it is that you can be your complete self, how it is that you can be relaxed and approach life in a way that allows you to really just be yourself. Before we do that, I want to let you know that I'm going to be sharing with you today the first step of the Channel of Clarity method, which is the absolute bedrock of feeling safe and being safe, connecting with your guardian angel, and the first step of developing the relationship with your guardian angel, which means that you're going to be able to channel your guardian angel, which is really, really exciting. Let's speak to Tressarn, shall we? He's the man. He knows. And the question that I think would be great to ask Tressarn today is, how can I take my first step to heal spiritually and personally, so that I can channel my guardian angel? And once we'd heard from him, I have a sense that he's going to be sharing things that we're going to be able to discuss, that you're going to be able to ask questions about, and that we can explore together. Okay, so I've got my legs crossed at the moment, and if you follow me, you'll know that in order to channel, I always recommend that you have your feet flat on the floor. So I'm just going to uncross my legs. I'm going to put my feet on the floor, and I'm going to talk you through the process when I tune in with Tressarn, when I channel Tressarn. It's what I teach. I'll talk you through it, and then you and I will have a chance to practice this, the first step for you to really become acquainted with it, so that you can build that beautiful foundation, that wonderful relationship with your guardian angel. So feet on the floor. And what I do is I go through that first stage, of safety, knowing that I'm safe in the room that I'm in, knowing that when I come back, all's going to be well, knowing that I have a beautiful relationship with Tressarn, knowing that I know how to do this, and then enjoying that feeling in my body. So I welcome in a relaxing energy from the soles of my feet all the way up into my body. And as I do that, I'm noticing any tightness in my body, and I'm allowing that to go on a tea break, go for a rest, permanent tea break if it feels right. Just relaxing my body, letting go of the day, letting go of everything and the excitement, just not just like negative, tense things, but like the excitement that I can sometimes hold in my body. And you can probably feel I'm holding now, just letting that go. That's fantastic. And then I'm calling the Tressarn's light to me, being surrounded by a beautiful cocoon. Great. And then one by one, I asked Tressarn to charge me with the light of each of my life purpose strengths. All guardian angels have beautiful colours, and each of those colours are a unique life purpose, vibration, and meaning, which is really about you embodying your purpose through your guardian angel, and your guardian angel helping you to fulfill your purpose through amplifying those strengths, and also through channeling, asking questions, getting answers, which means that you have the guidance you need to move forward with your life, so that you're not always second guessing yourself or wondering if it was the right thing, or procrastinating, or being paralyzed by kind of like too many options. It's just such an amazing experience. I'm personally someone who gets like overwhelmed by too much information, and I had that recently over the last few days, particularly as we're traveling around. And it's just so great to remind myself, and for you to know and to remind yourself, that your guardian angel is just going to give you the next step. Always going to be the next step. There's going to be the next 100 steps. And sometimes we feel like we want those, don't we? It's like, tell me where I'm going to be in a year's time, or tell me what's going to happen when I have all of these things that I'm really in this life now wanting to experience. But it is always the next step, because the next step's all you need. It's the next step. Okay. So enjoying that feeling of those beautiful life purpose strengths, and then the channel of clarity, which is my heart center to Tressarn's heart center light. And then I have that channel of clarity. Your first steps to spiritual and personal healing begin in your heart. Begin with I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And I encourage you, dear friend, with your guardian angel right now, to follow me. Let us begin to heal spiritually and personally with your guardian angel. Please place your hand over your heart center. Please say to yourself, and I repeat, please say to yourself with feeling, I love you. And allow that words, allow that energy to vibrate throughout your body. I love you. And now say to yourself, I accept you for all that you are. And allow that truth to vibrate throughout your whole body. And now say to yourself, dear friend with your guardian angel by your side, I love you unconditionally. And feel the love, the vibration throughout your whole body. As you begin with your heart center, gently awakening your heart center. As you begin with the vibration of I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally. You immediately, always, every time, without question, connect to the place of love within yourself. And this is the origin of your channel of clarity, of your communication with your guardian angel. And as you feel the vibration of I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally, send that to all the parts of yourself. Send that to the parts of yourself which wish to heal, which are asking for love. Send that to the parts of yourself that fear or are wounded. It is healing. I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And from this place, you will appreciate and understand your value. The safety from your heart center, the vibration which is emitted and radiated from within and cannot be contained, as this is the place from which you communicate and channel your guardian angel. This is the place of safety for your mind. This is the place of safety for your body. And feel how safe you are from your heart center. I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And allow that energy to move out from your body and offer that energy to your guardian angel. Know that your guardian angel is with you, and that as you connect in this way, it is easier, it is clearer, it is smoother, and it is natural for you to begin to feel your guardian angel with you. Close your eyes with your hands still on your heart center. I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. And this is the beginning of healing spiritually, as you understand that you are safe, as you understand that you are enough, as you understand your value, as you understand your worthiness, as you understand your power, that you are in the position of opening to connect with your guardian angel from love, only love, always love. And this is the place that you begin to heal personally, as the mind interruptions, as the physical tightness in the body can be healed through I love you for whatever you have done or said or been. I accept you for all that you are, no matter what your faults, no matter what your shortcomings. I love you unconditionally, whatever you are, whatever you've done, wherever you are. Unconditional acceptance. And this is the path, this is the route through which communicating with your guardian angel begins, is safe, and will always be healing. And so it is. So that was lovely. I want to talk about that. I'd love to see if you've got any questions. I would love to know if you have any questions. I'm just going to look down here in the chat just to make sure that I keep... Oh, such lovely comments. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Really lovely. Appreciate that. So there's a few things I want to talk about there. Let's have a sip of water first. Excuse me. Always water. I'll tell you a little bit of funny stuff here. We carry a massive, we're traveling with Tressarn, and we carry a massive canister, a water filter. It's like this kind of steel drum which filters water wherever we are. So I have filtered water, which is lovely, and I put at this high altitude. And also when I've been really hot, when we've been in Brazil and other places where it's been so hot, you feel like your brain is kind of like bubbling away inside of your headspace. a little bit of salt and a little bit of bicarb. And if you add a little bit of salt and a little bit of bicarb to your water, if that feels like the right thing for you to do, and it's only just tiny, tiny little amounts, just make sure the bicarb hasn't got any other additives in it. Sometimes it comes strangely with like a kind of wheat derivative. So just bicarb. Anyway, cheers. So I wanted to talk to you about, I'd love to hear your questions about that process, but I want to talk to you about spiritual healing and personal healing based on what Tressarn has just said. So how shall I approach this? I'll ask Tressarn. Okay. There are many different ways of, there are many different teachers, there are many different approaches, and I think that you always find and align with the person that is right for you. And it's really important that you pay attention to whether you feel when you're spending time with a teacher, with a mentor, with somebody that's teaching you a process and a method. And one of the things which spiritually I find challenging that is taught very often is that you as a human being are not enough to connect with the angels or your guardian angel or guides, as is sometimes taught. And also that you as a human need to cleanse yourself in some way to be prepared to connect with angels. And another route is that you need to be protected. So let me take those one by one. So I teach you how to channel your guardian angel because it's a safe connection, because your guardian angel is with you from conception all the way through your life. So constant with you to help you to fulfill your purpose. So that's what I teach. I don't teach you to channel your guides. I teach you how to channel your guardian angel only for you. Your guardian angel is only for you, exists only for you, with the sole purpose of helping you to fulfill your purpose and to guide you through life, support you through life. The other thing which is sometimes taught is that you need to cleanse yourself before you connect with angels. And let me just say it like this. Angelic energy trumps all human energy you could possibly imagine. The idea that you are somehow dirty or somehow low vibration and that you need to make yourself clean because otherwise you're going to get all that energy trapped is just really not the way that I teach. Because you see, first of all, you know that we connect from the heart center space, which is the vibration of the only thing that's allowed to enter when you radiate that out. And also your guardian angel's energy is of a high vibration. It's not human and it transmutes any negative energy. Okay, so that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Angelic energy, your guardian angel's energy is high vibrational. It's never been human and it vibrates at a frequency which heals. It vibrates at a frequency which is so pure that it transmutes, which means completely transforms, removes all negative energy that all of the energy that you allow your guardian angel in will transmute any energy which is human, thoughts, physical ailments. It's just incredible. And the final thing that I want to talk about in that area with regards to spiritual healing is that people talk a lot about protection. Now, my kids think that one of my children, not both of them, possibly both of them, but one of them's more vocal about it, thinks that I'm really fussy about words. Like we often have conversations where we have kind of like misunderstandings or differences of opinion about the meaning of words. Now, words are very powerful to me because they are a vibration. Now, when you talk about, it's really common, people talk about protection, spiritual protection, need to be protected. Protection is a really heavy fear-based word. If you think about protection, right, well, I think about sun protection. So in other words, like keeping the sun out, like the sun's going to damage you and hurt you in some way. I think about, protection rackets, like where you have kind of like mini mafias or full-scale mafias, kind of like you have to pay to, and it's all fear. It's all keeping something bad out. Whereas what you want is to feel safe. So I would encourage you to explore and tell me what you think about that. Do you use the word protection? And it's okay. I'm not judging anyone. I'm not want to make you feel uncomfortable about words that you use, but just think about the words that you use because they're so powerful. So if you're using spiritual protection, if you're thinking about spiritual protection, how does that make you feel? Is it because you're frightened that something horrible is going to come in? Is it because you feel like you need to kind of like have a shield around you? Think about safety. We've been talking about this every week and we talk about it more and more. Safety is what you want. Of course it is, and it's important, it's essential to the whole of the channeling process to feel safe and to be safe and to know that you're safe. So when you think about spiritual healing, think about safety. Think about how you are worthy. Your guardian angel is with you to help you in every way. That you're never not enough, that you never need to be more, that you never need to be cleaner or more cleansed. Another thing I hear a lot about is spiritual hygiene. I mean, it sounds like clinical. It's about knowing your energy, knowing that you're safe, knowing that I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally is the very core, the very central place. And from that place, great spiritual healing can occur because you know that you're worthy, you know that you're safe, you know that your guardian angel is with you, you know that when you allow your guardian angel's energy to you and in you, which is what I teach in Channel of Clarity, then you are infused with only positive energy and that you don't need to be anything more or anything different. And this comes back to just be yourself. The completeness of you, which is what your guardian angel helps you to be. When you go through all these stages, safe in your mind, safe in your body, and also spiritually healing. Let's talk about the personal healing side of things now. If anyone's got anything to say about this, please comment. Oh yeah, Patty's saying makes her feel really sad when people teach that. I think that, you know, there are so many different approaches. There are so many different teachers, and I just encourage you to spend time, give your energy to those that empower, those that create a feeling of what is possible, those that resonate for you. But they're just like any other part of life. There are those that are fear-based, there are those that are negative. And it's not about avoiding things, it's not about being irresponsible. It's so important that you know that you're safe, that you have a process that you can enjoy and rely on. If anyone's got anything else to say about spiritual protection and all those things, then please go ahead and comment. So the other thing I was going to say was about personal healing. So I talked to you at the beginning about how Tressarn, about how that situation in Miami happened. And I'll talk to you about how Tressarn has helped me with that. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't feel like I can be myself. Tell me if you feel like that or have ever felt like that. So self-conscious, not tall enough, not good looking enough, not nice enough hair, not nice enough clothes, not enough that's interesting to say, not known enough, not credible enough, not and all of this kind of mix of years of feeling insecure, how it just builds and builds and builds. And how you feel that you need to try to be something else because being yourself is not enough. And that's something I struggled with for many years. But spiritual and personal healing is something which means that you can be your complete self. So personal healing, Tressarn said to me a couple of months ago, so let me help you picture the scene. We're in Peru and we've just landed from Brazil, which was so lush and green, the part of Brazil that we were staying in. And we flew to Peru and we landed in Lima. And Lima is quite often pictured as being very green, but when we landed, it was very dry. I landed in Peru and, well, actually Manny said it, our youngest, he said it's like a mixture of Egypt and India. There were tuk-tuks, it was noisy, it was great atmosphere, buses, caught shouting out. It was just a real kind of like wow. It was a real wow experience. And it was very dry when we first landed in Peru, where we were down at the lower altitude, when we were down at sea level. And we stayed in a place called Chaclacayo, which is just outside of Lima, to kind of like, as Tressarn said, settle into the energy. And it was part of the complex that we were in was kind of surrounded by really high kind of mountains and hills. And Eddie and I like to walk and we like to climb. And we saw just at the entrance of the complex where we were living this massive staircase, carved out of stone, created out of concrete. It was really high staircase. No, nothing along the edges to hold on to. But me and Eddie sort of eyed each other and sort of went, let's do that. Let's climb that staircase. I don't know how many feet it went up. I don't know if Eddie's watching and he can tell you, but it was really, really high. So we began our ascent one morning. We'd had our coffees, which is what I always like to have before I'm going to be physical. And we began to climb. And we climbed this staircase. And to begin with, it was just kind of concrete steps and it was pretty easy going. Didn't feel like that much of a big deal. But the further we got up, the more eroded and the less used this concrete staircase was that was going to lead us right the way up to the top, and the steeper it became. So you start walking up normally like you're walking upstairs in your house, and then all of a sudden you're realizing that you're kind of leaning quite far forward, or at least I was, kind of clutching onto the ground and climbing like I was going to fall off the face of it, which is obviously physically impossible. And I'm feeling really anxious. I'm feeling really scared. I'm feeling uncomfortable. My mind's racing. Why are you doing this? And I look down, and not only are we high up, but we can't go back because the stairs, or the crumbled stairs that we've already started to climb up, are impossible to get back down. You know, you couldn't even sit on your backside and slide back down. It was all like rubble. So we had to keep climbing. And we climbed to a certain point in the staircase where we thought we'd be able to get off, because you're climbing this staircase and it runs with what looks parallel to a road, which is kind of like, which is the side of the mountain. So we got to this first level after I'm really anxious, and we go onto the road, only to find that the road that we have got onto has a gate which prevents you from going through it. So I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed, and I have to get back on to the staircase that is crumbled, that is disintegrating before my very eyes, and has become a mountain that we're climbing, and I've got to keep going up. And I'm getting stressed and I'm getting anxious, and Eddie's behind me, and all these thoughts start coming into my mind. You're on your own. You can't rely on Eddie. He's not going to help you. You're going to fall. This was a ridiculous situation to get yourself into. Panic. And it really manifested itself in like an angry, stressed, upset, small child way. Like, I can't do this. But you've got to do it because you've got no choice. Anyway, we had to go back onto the staircase. We had to climb to the second level where we saw the road, had exactly the same situation, a gate, and we had to get back on and go back up. We got to the top and I was like emotional, like extremely emotional. And the next day, Tressarn said to me, we need to run a diagnostic on you. Your personal development has reached a point where you are ready to grow, and you need to understand what's holding you back. And he called it, let go of the rock. You need to learn to let go of the rock. You're clinging on to something in your life from your past, which is creating great fear when you go outside of your comfort zone. Now, do you know what your fears are? It's difficult actually to identify them because they can become so part of who we are. Do you know what your limitations are? Do you know what your barriers are? Do you know what you're frightened of? Do you know what makes you feel uncomfortable? Do you know what going outside of your comfort zone, or as I prefer to call it, going into your bravery zone is? Do you know where the line is? Because personal healing is something which helps you to channel. Because personal development and spiritual development are two sides of the same ladder. As you ascend and as you go up spiritually, you'll reach a point in your personal development where you can't go any further until you've dealt with it. And the mountain, the steps, the stairs was my barrier. And through that process of understanding and healing my personal, the personal barriers, the personal fears and insecurities, well, let's not talk about them as though that was a complete body of work, because it's such a work in progress. It's unbelievable. I'm constantly having to deal with, my fears and my insecurities, and, it never ends. It becomes more, well, it's very rewarding because it means that I can do things that I wouldn't have been able to do before. But it's always something that you're going to be doing. It's a journey. But what are the things that hold you back? Because spiritual healing, we've talked about before. Personal healing is understanding and identifying those parts of you that are frightened, those parts of you that have been wounded, those parts of you that kind of like flare up whenever you feel unsafe or insecure. And again, it's that process that Tressarn talked you through. I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. I'm just going to look in the chat to see if anyone has said anything about this process. So please comment if you've got things to say and you'd like to share with everybody, which would be great. And then I'm going to talk you through that first step of the Channel of Clarity process so that you can understand how you can bring spiritual and personal healing and create that foundation for channeling your guardian angel, where you know you're safe in your mind, safe in your body, where you know that you are safe spiritually and safe personally as well. Let's have a look. Our love is our best protection if we ever need it. Absolutely. Love. Yeah. Love is that vibration, that energy is an incredible power which aligns with all things which look and feel that way. Tressarn talks sometimes about allowing, and that's really what you learn with your guardian angel, how to allow love that aligns for you. And that's how your relationship with your guardian angel is so gently developed, step by step. Carolina says, she's, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm just going to have to move my screen. Just 1 second so I can see. Carolina says, oh my goodness, I wouldn't have chosen to climb those steps, but I see how it helped you so much. Well done you. Well, do you know what, Carolina? If I'd have known that would have happened, I definitely would not have done that. I just thought it was going to be a physical endurance test. How wrong I was. Let's have a look here. What was Linda saying? Oh, hi, Linda. What if the fears are not something you are aware of consciously and the barriers are there, but you don't know exactly why? How do you deal with them? Okay. So sometimes you become aware of your fears through doing something which takes you outside of your comfort zone, or, how I like to say, into your bravery zone. And channeling your guardian angel is a perfect example of that. Like, you really you really enjoy the experience of feeling safe, becoming yourself when you communicate with your guardian angel. And it's part of the channeling process to be your real self, to be that complete version of yourself. When you talk about, so sometimes when you do something outside of your comfort zone, then you feel those fears surface, you feel uncomfortable. And then it's just kind of like sitting with why you feel uncomfortable. What is it that's making you feel uncomfortable? And why do you feel that way? What is that fear? If you could see it in another part of your life, how would it show itself to you? But it's not always important to know what your fears are in order to address them, because communicating with your guardian angel, channeling your guardian angel, will give you that opportunity to conquer those challenges and those fears by doing things and knowing that you've got your guardian angel with you. And that's what I say so much, to the boys and, to Eddie and I, having your guardian angel with you, you're always safe. And knowing how to communicate means that you are able to get on with living your life in a way that helps you to address your fears and your insecurities, because it's exciting and you're supported. There's this beautiful relationship that you have with your guardian angel. They're there to help you in every way possible. I hope that answered your question, Linda. Thank you for asking it. Let me know if there's anything else you wanted to say there. Yeah, so Sandra likes that question too, so thank you very much for asking it. That's the great thing about this. When you ask questions, then you might think they're just for you, but honestly, you help so many people by asking questions. Okay, So what I'd love us to do now is to practice the first step of channel clarity. And I'd like you to enjoy this experience of personal and spiritual healing that comes from this place, the origin of love for yourself. Now, when Tressarn first shared this with me, I have to say that putting my hand on my chest and saying to myself, I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally, felt lots of different things. It felt very odd. It felt very separate from me. It felt like something, because I'd never done it before. It was emotional because I realized that there was a gap, there was a real kind of like space between me and that love for myself, that worthiness, that completeness. And it's about, as I've said, it's about personal and spiritual healing. It's about becoming your complete self. It's about being who you are through your personality and all of your wonderful life purpose, strengths, and all the things that you're amazing at, and all the reasons that people love you and what makes you you. But it's bringing this spiritual aspect in. It's allowing that energy part of yourself to become part of who you are. And this is a theme that Tressarn's been talking to me about as we travel through these and visit these ancient sites. There was a time when humans were energy and physical, and when it was not separate. And the amazing and incredible feats, which some of which are partially visible, others of which are hidden and have vanished, but can be reconnected with, were at a time when spiritual you and physical you were the same. The health that you can experience when you blend those parts of yourself, the experience of completeness that you can enjoy when you allow those parts of yourself is incredible. Linda says, there are times when I really feel love and other times when I don't. Is that something that happens to others? Well, what do you think, guys? Can you reply to Linda about that? From my point of view, what I would say is that life is fascinating and interesting. And there are days when things feel easier, things feel smoother, things are, and there are days when they are not. And that's okay. Yesterday, I had it was a really frustrating day. Yesterday, I went out with Eddie. We were going to spend some time in a really lovely courtyard cafe as part of a hotel to do some work that we wanted to do. And it was all problematic. It was noisy. There wasn't any internet, which was the first time I've ever experienced that. The work wasn't coming together. And then when we came back, it was at a time when all the schools, I think, had just emptied out. So it was really difficult to get back home. It was like physically almost impossible. There were so many people over the pavements, and it was a really frustrating day. But that's okay, because you know that sometimes you just have these frustrating days, but there's something in there that's important, and I can't anyway. I mean, you guys might be different, but I can't live life on this constant high vibrational plane of bliss and excellence. It's not possible, and it's not human, and it's not necessary. It's being where you are and knowing that that's okay. And if you are having a difficult and challenging time, just doing what you feel like doing. Like yesterday, I thought, right, there's no point in me being here and trying to struggle through and do this. I'm just going to go out. And I went out and, I did things that I enjoyed doing. I bought a new eyeliner and just had a walk around and watched the street vendors and bought some fruit that I wanted to eat. Just, if things are hard, I've tried to learn to just take a little bit of a step back. Don't force, because forcing never works. And knowing that you'll come back round to it. So I hope that helps you, Linda. Caroline is saying, a few days ago I realised that I kept myself locked up to protect me from unfulfilling, unhappy relationships. Yeah, and when you're in that I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally, and you know that is the energy that you're sending out, and that's the energy that you're wanting to bring back. That's personal healing, and that's spiritual healing too. Asking the angels for a change in perspective works pretty well to fix that. Brilliant. That's great. Patty asked the angels for a change in perspective, that's great. Yeah, and that's a great question. Help me to see this different. Help me to find something which is going to bring me joy today. Help me to get myself out of this mood. Or, don't wait to ask your guardian angel for something like earth seismic. You can ask your guardian angel for help about all of the things, and they are there with you. And communicating with them helps you to lighten the daily load. It really does, with very practical things. It's not all kind of relating to matters which are purely spiritual. You're here to live a human experience. Sometimes I get too much in my head and I forget. Yeah, I get it. Sandra gets it too. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for your questions, everybody. Right, let's enjoy this first step of the channel of clarity, which is I love you, I accept you for all that you are, and bring this spiritual and personal healing into a place where you can begin to enjoy your relationship with your guardian angel, knowing that you're safe in your mind, knowing that you're safe in your body, knowing that when you do this, that you are sending out an energy that you are wanting more of, and that you are drawing that to you. And that as you do that, you begin to understand your spiritual worthiness, and you understand your personal worthiness, and you become your complete self. Okay, so let's practice this. Feet on the floor, please, closing your eyes. I'll talk you through the 4 safety areas. We're just going to do this really gently. So bringing a wonderful feeling of relaxation into your body, and just breathing with your mouth closed, please, through your nose. Wonderful. And saying to yourself, let's go through the safety areas first. And knowing that you're safe in the space that you're in. Good. And knowing that all is well when you return. And knowing that your guardian angel loves you and is with you. And knowing that you know how to do this. You're learning how to do this. And welcoming a feeling of relaxation into your body. And noticing any areas of tightness and giving them a tea break, lunch break, fortnight's vacation, permanent absence, however you feel. Good. And now with your hand over your heart center, please. Saying to yourself with feeling, I love you. I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. Good. And enjoy that feeling of love radiating through your body. And feeling the spiritual healing of I love you, I accept you for all that you are. I love you unconditionally. Knowing that you're spiritually worthy, knowing that you're enough, knowing that this is meant to be, knowing that you are here to connect with your guardian angel, to communicate with your guardian angel, that they love you unconditionally, that you don't need to be any more or different, that by being you, just being yourself, the complete self. Good. And now feeling that personally. I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally, and I'd love you to send that healing to a part of yourself that feels frightened, that feels wounded, that's in pain, that regrets, that feels shame or sadness. Good. And this final step, I'd like you to ask your guardian angel to help you to feel, I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally. and to feel it from them. Feel that they share with you, they offer to you, I love you. I accept you for all that you are. Feel that from them, him or her. I love you unconditionally. Feel that from your guardian angel. Good. Fantastic. And now coming back, enjoying that feeling of love, feeling that spiritual healing, feeling that personal healing, coming back. Well done, everybody. That's beautiful. I encourage you to continue with that process. Do you remember when I said right at the beginning, the elevator, right? So I'm in Miami. I'm walking to the elevator, clip clop on the marble floor, high-heeled shoes, tight clothes, straight hair that's going curly, even though I can't see it, fighting the losing battle, feeling like I'm not enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not good looking enough, I'm not experienced enough, I'm not kind of showbiz enough, feeling all of those things, and turning to my producer, or the producer, and saying, how shall I be? And she said, just be yourself. And I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me up. Well, working with Tressarn, channeling Tressarn, has enabled me to be my complete self to the point where I can travel with Tressarn, under Tressarn's guidance, throughout the whole world, being with my family, being directed to be, and this is what you said to me the other day, you are precisely, exactly, pinpoint where you need to be, and that geographically as well as other areas. And that was so encouraging. And that I can go to these ancient sites and others which are not known about, that I can stand and channel, or sit and channel and stand and talk and explore and discover ancient wisdom, incredible truths which have been hidden, and do that in front of, on the site, hundreds of people. And that I can provide this information to the world in a way which feels so positive and enjoyable and light-filled. And through being my complete self, I'm able to do all of those things. I want you to think about and share, if you were your complete self, if you were personally and spiritually healing, if you were channeling your guardian angel, connected to your guardian angel, receiving guidance from your guardian angel, what would that experience of being your complete self, using your real voice, being who you really are, what would that mean you would be doing? And it can be something that is a heart's desire, can be something that you've always wanted, or it can be something that you just feel and want to be introduced to. Let me know. Write it in the chat. I'd love to know. Please tell me what you, being your complete self, would allow you to do, or be, or experience in your life. I'm just going to have a look at the chat now. Let's have a look. Tricia says, since my grandson transitioned. Oh, I love the way you've put grandson with an S-U-N. That's beautiful. I don't know whether that was conscious, but that's really beautiful. Since my grandson transitioned, I kept up with my rituals but didn't feel connected, starting to come back. But the overwhelming sad days are a lot. I'm sending you so much love and healing, and asking your guardian angel to really help you to create that beautiful relationship together so that you can begin that healing. Thank you, Tricia. Linda says, I'm grateful that you're a complete self. Thank you. And being your complete self is something that is enjoyable for you to be, but it's also something that impacts other people's lives. Books is what Linda says. Brilliant. Sandra says, I would love to be bringing joy to myself and sending it out into the world. Brilliant. Beautiful. Being your complete self for Patty means performing instead of judging myself. Oh, yeah, the judging. Yeah, that's something that being your complete self really does, like, jettison that criticism, that exhausting mind stuff that goes on. And when you channel, you see, you can ask all these questions like, how can I deal? Like, I had something come up the other day, which was really interesting. I sent my work out into the world to somebody who I held in extremely high regard. And he gave me the most amazing and supportive and helpful feedback. And that night I went to bed and I felt so anxious, sickeningly anxious. I don't know if you get anxious at night time. And I asked Tressarn about it the next day, and I said, I think my question was like, how can I ask for help without feeling anxious? Like, this was the next level of help. And he gave me the answer, and it helped me to move on. And it's just such a way of shortcutting these kind of barriers that used to have me in the weeds for such a long time. That's really great. Putting your work out into the world. Not judging. Yeah, Linda saying joy, finding joy. And Carolina says being my complete self and offering healing using love. Beautiful. They're wonderful things. This week's play sheet is an opportunity for you to privately and personally explore that. If you could be your complete self, what would that mean to you in your life? And that could mean, it would mean I would be able to do this particular thing that I've been thinking about for a long time, or it may be something that you want to begin to explore with your guardian angel. Because when you are your complete self, when you're your authentic self, when you are able to be who you are, when you're able to enjoy doing things without worrying about them beforehand or whilst or after, life opens up, and it means that you can help others in the way that I know in your heart you really want to. Because when you are who you are, and when you've learned and when you've grown, it's all part of your journey, you're really able to understand and help others in a really important, not just theory based, but very practical way. So that's fantastic. Anne says, realizing I'm loved by people even when I'm down and don't feel it. Yeah. And that's where, thanks, Anne, and that's where that hand on heart, I love you, I accept you for all that you are, I love you unconditionally. Fantastic. Any final questions? We've come to the end of this preparing to channel with your guardian angel. Tressarn always prepares me for our time together, tells me what we're going to be talking about, and it's great that he answers these wonderful questions and provides us with guidance as well. Tricia says that grandson was important. Tricia's written grandson with an S-U-N. That's beautiful. Purposely sing with the word angel. Yeah, singing and vibration of sound are really important, and I'll be speaking more about vibration of sound because that's an extremely important and interesting aspect of what Tressarn has been talking to me about. So I want to thank you for being here today. This has been fantastic, week 3. Check out the play sheet, which is going to give you a chance to explore what being your complete self will mean to you. Please comment, let me know that you were here, let me know where you were from, let me know your thoughts, your feelings. All of your interactions are extremely valuable and important, not just to me, but to others who are really becoming part of this inner knowing that, you know, there is more to life than the daily grind and what it is that so many are experiencing. And you have the power to transform your life with your guardian angel and the world. And I really do say that most sincerely. Thank you for being here, everybody. I look forward to being with you next time. See you then.